The first time I realized the neighborhood was in just watching us but judging us was the afternoon I stood in our driveway, fresh from the gym, tank top clinging to my shoulders, my beard still damp from a quick shower, while my boyfriend sat on the porch steps behind me, slimmer, quieter, scrolling his phone. And Karen from the HOA slowed her SUV just enough to stare like we were a problem she hadn't figured out how to fix yet, because I could see it in her eyes. The calculation, the discomfort, the way her gaze bounced from my size to his frame like she was trying to decide which of us offended her more. I'm not small, I know that. Years of lifting, discipline, sweat, and control built my body, and people usually treat me with a mix of respect and caution. But that day I felt something unfamiliar, not fear, but insult. Because when she finally spoke days later, it wasn't about noise or parking or trash cans. It was about fit, about how our relationship didn't belong here, said with that fake politeness that feels worse than shouting. And I remember my boyfriend gripping my arm afterward, his fingers light against muscle, asking me to let it go. Because he's always been the softer one, the one who believes people can be reasoned with. While I've always known that bullies don't stop unless they're forced to, the harassment didn't start loud, it started sneaky. Fines for violations that didn't exist, warnings for things straight couples did daily, emails dripping with implication. And every time I stood in front of her at meetings, towering over her with my chest squared and jaw tight, she'd never look at me directly. She'd look at him instead, like he was the weak link, like if she pressured him enough, he'd crack and leave. And that's what made my blood boil, watching the stress creep into him, the way he hesitated before holding my hand outside, the way he'd say maybe we shouldn't sit out front today. And that's when I knew this wasn't just about me proving something, it was about protecting him. I started documenting everything quietly, every notice, every comment, every time. Karen ignored worse behavior from other neighbors, and I stayed calm because I learned long ago that real strength isn't loud, it's controlled. And when the HOA finally tried to remove us by claiming repeated violations, I was ready, because I didn't respond with threats or intimidation. Even though I could have scared her with a look, I responded with evidence, lawyers, and community support she never expected. And the moment everything flipped was the meeting where she stood there, confident, clipboard clutched like a weapon, only to be questioned publicly about discriminatory enforcement. And when the room turned quiet and people started speaking up, defending us, defending my boyfriend especially, something inside me softened, because for the first time I saw him sit up straighter, speak louder, unafraid, while Karen shrank, exposed, stripped of the power she abused. And now, weeks later, when we walk through the neighborhood hand in hand, me broad-shouldered and steady, him slim and smiling, no one looks away anymore. Because she tried to remove us, and instead she reminded everyone that love doesn't need permission. And strength isn't about size, it's about standing your ground when it matters most.